In this segment, we're going to start out with your body in somewhat of a plank position, therefore meaning your hands are down in front, feet are out behind you. But we're going to stay on our knees because we're going to be on one knee, and we really need that for stability. If you were to put it up on your toe, then it's going to be a very difficult exercise, and we're not quite to that level yet since we're just starting working on this inner thigh. So we're going to come down on this knee here, hands directly out in front of you, out in this position, and just lift this leg out to the side. Now, if a straight leg is too difficult for you, it's okay to keep your knee bent, because the idea is we're just doing a circle with our hip flexor here and really trying to tighten out that inner thigh. But with the straight leg, you're really going to get the workout that you really want. Start out with little circles. We can go backwards to begin. You can increase those circles larger, but the whole thing is control. We don't want to overdo it. Then come in with a smaller circle. Change your repetition, go around in a circle larger. And again, let's make sure that this knee is not locked out too tight, because it's just not safe for our joints. We want to keep a soft knee. That's crucial in all of these workouts. So that this is slightly bent, not here, but slightly bent, unless we're actually going to the easier step where you're pulling around. But really try and get that leg out there. You can choose to flex it, which will change your workout, or point that toe and continue on. You want to change this exercise, switch over to the other side and choose your repetitions wisely. In this segment, we're going to take it up off of the ground, and we're actually going to take more of a lunge position on, but focus on that inner thigh. So not just any lunge, we're going to do a side step boxer lunge is what I like to call it. Going to keep your arms in the right position, keep those abs nice and tight, but focus on the inner thigh and our quads. So we're going to bring ourselves up to a standing position, and you're just going to start doing a side squat. So you're just going to come down into this, come back to the center, and immediately go back down to this. We want this to be a continuous motion. We don't ever want those inner thighs to be able to rest. So I don't want you to come all the way back up and then go all the way back down. We just want to stay down the entire time, increasing how low you go. Really squeezing in the glutes and the inner thigh. This side step motion is really working our inner thigh here, especially when we come back together and go back out. We're not allowing it to have a break. We're not allowing it to come back up and relax. We're going to take it back down. Really keep those hands in the boxer position so you're not using your arms for momentum, and keep stepping out side to side. Now, the easier that this becomes for you, the more you're going to be able to do it. It's really important that those knees stay behind the toes. Don't let your knees drop forward over the top. You're going to feel a great burn from this workout. In this segment, we're going to take you on to the dreaded lunges. I know that they're the one workout that's just so miserable and they're so difficult, but just doing a few of these every single day, you're going to see a dramatic improvement in your leg, with your inner thigh, with your glutes, with your hamstrings, all the way through. But we're really trying to focus on that inner thigh, so really make sure you watch as I do my lunges. We're just going to do lunge in place. We're just going to come all the way down. Let's keep our hands in that boxer position here, and look at how tight this muscle becomes. Of course, our hamstring and our quad becomes tight as well, but that inner thigh is going to tighten up just as much. And we'll just bring it back together and come back down for another lunge. Now, it's really important when you do your lunges that this knee does not drop over your toe. It always stays parallel here. Bring it back up. Now, if this is too simple for you, you're an expert on lunges and you don't have to work that hard for it, you can come and do pulses. So let's say we came back down for one, you can pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you do this, you're not only going to feel a burn on the inner thigh here, but as well as the leg down that's stabilizing us. Come back together and continue in on the other leg. In this segment here, we're going to work once again on that inner thigh, except this time we're going to try and find another object to help us out. It can be any household item. You could roll up a towel, you could use a shoe, which is what I'm going to use today. You could take anything you have, but try and have something that's not too weighted. We're not trying to put any pressure on our hips. We're just really using it more as something for focus, for our mind to be able to focus that something is between your feet and you're really working on that inner thigh. So I'm going to take my shoe off here really quick and just show you an example. No weight in the shoe. Put it between our feet here. Come on down back to your back. Arms underneath your back so that we keep it stable. If it's too easy for you, again, you can put your arms out to the side. Underneath your back, I'll pull from the side so you can really see what we're doing here. And just straighten those legs out and just do small raises here. Now again, this is going to work your lower abs, but really focus on your inner thigh, because the idea is that your feet are focusing on squeezing something between your feet. It really doesn't matter what you put there. It's just the idea of pulling on this inner thigh here, because without anything, that inner thigh doesn't have to work nearly as hard. But with something in between, it causes it to almost have a mind of its own, to remember that I can't drop that shoe. I need to keep it there so that it actually works the right muscle. In this segment, we're going to get into a position just as if you were about to do a crunch, but we're not doing a crunch here, but you will feel a great workout in your lower abdominals, as well as the inner thigh, the top of the quad, and all the way down through the leg. You're gonna lay on your back. Now there's two different levels to do this. If you're an expert and you've done this a million times and it's no problem, you can put your hands out to the side. I'm gonna start with my hands underneath our bottom just to keep myself a little more stable, because it is very difficult with your arms out to the side. We're gonna ease your way down to the floor. Put those hands and arms straight underneath. Again, advanced would be out to the side, arms underneath, legs out straight in front of you, and we're just gonna do a scissor kick. Point those toes really hard. The more you point your toes, the more of a workout you're gonna get in that thigh. And just reach up to the sky. You can change and do larger ones, but it's actually a more difficult workout with controlled smaller kicks as you go. While you're doing this, you'll feel a really tight pull all the way through the inner thigh and the lower abdominals. Try and keep your lower back as close to the ground as possible, the hands nice and stable underneath the bottom, and a nice controlled scissor kick. I want to make sure that those toes are pointed all the way out so you're really getting the workout in your legs that you need. In this segment, once again, we're using the ball as our balance ball here, which is going to keep us trying to keep this stable, working on our core, but we're really going to focus on our inner thigh. So you can start with whichever side you're comfortable. We're going to start with the left leg here. Raise this leg up onto its side so that it's completely sideways on your ball, on the center of the ball. Lay completely down onto the ground, arm out by the side of your ear here, and this knee should be bent at a 90-degree angle. Now this hand you can put here to help stabilize. You should have your head down on the ground because it's going to pull too much strain on your neck. And as you pull up on the inside leg, you're just going to pull in and almost tap knees together. You can see that movement here. We're just going to really focus on pulling this knee up in towards your knee here, and you're going to feel that stretch and burn through here. Now remember, don't put too much strain on your neck. Use this hand for whatever stability. Now you can see the ball moving underneath my foot. That's making the inside thigh here, as well as this entire leg and my core work to keep the balance here in this workout. You can choose to flex or point this toe. Either way, you're going to work on different muscle groups. You're still going to get a great workout on that inner thigh with pulling this ball, balance ball underneath. In this segment, it's time to switch it up a little bit. Again, we're always going to be working on our core. Our ab muscles are always involved when we're working on the balance ball because this is your inner core. Your core is what keeps you balanced. But our focal point is going to be more within our glutes, our bottom area, your hamstrings, your quads, your leg area. So we're going to start out on the ground this time. Feet are going to go back up onto the ball, onto the arches here of our underneath our ankles, on the back of your calves. You're going to lay down on the ground. Comfortably put your hands below your bottom. If you're more comfortable and this is an easier assignment for you, you can put it out to the side. I like to keep it here behind just because it helps me stabilize. And all you're going to do is do a simple press your hips up to the sky. Now it's very important while you do this that you're actually going to squeeze and get that good workout where you're doing it and it intensifies. Because doing it too quickly, you're going to be using momentum and you're not going to be able to get the workout that you need to get. As you can see, not only am I working the squeeze here through the bottom parts of my legs, but I'm also focusing on my core because I'm balancing. The balance ball is moving around underneath my legs like this, which is fine. That's okay. There's no stable surface, so it's going to move around. But just focus on focusing and squeezing all the way up to the top and all the way back down. Again, you don't want to have the ball too far away. You want it in a comfortable position to where you feel like you're stable and you have control. Control is everything with the balance ball. In this segment, we're really going to let your entire body share the work. We're going to let the lower body have a little time and the upper body have a little time. We're going to start out on our lower back, using our balance ball for stability in between our legs, really working that inner thigh the entire time. You want to be holding this nice and tight. You're going to be working your lower abs as well as your upper body when we hand off the ball, which I'll show you here in just a moment. Get down into position on your back. Put the ball out below. You're going to raise it up and you're going to hand off the ball to your hand and come all the way back so you feel a good stretch. You're also working your upper abs as well as your lower when you pass the ball off. So we're going to come up to the middle, meet in the middle, bring the ball back down and come all the way back up. Bring the ball back down, come all the way back up. Never lose that body position. It's really important if you want to get a good workout that when I bring my feet back down, they don't touch the ground. So as you come back down like this and they come back up and pretend like they're hands and receive the ball. Come all the way back up, receive the ball. It's really important to remember to breathe in these exercises because these are really strong ab muscle exercises. Whew, they work out really hard. Those ones can be pretty difficult. So if it is too difficult for you, you can try a couple without the ball and then add the ball in because it definitely adds a whole nother level of intensity for those V-ups.